Hello friends, I'm Kayla and I'm here to talk to you about my summer TBR. Our summer TBR. I'm going to tell you some upcoming Literally Dead book club picks. I'm going to tell you upcoming video plans that I have, new releases I want to read, and then how the besties, where's the jar, are also influencing my reading, because I'm going to pick 9 of these and read 3 of them by the end of the summer. I know it's a little bit early, but it really feels like summer. I had to put on sunscreen the other day. Like, it's hot out. I went dress shopping and I'm just feeling the good vibes. And also, of course, I wanted to let you know upcoming book club stuff. And I felt like integrating it into this type of video just made more sense. Made the more sense rather than doing a standalone video where I'm only telling you about 2 picks, because that's all I know. Like, I know what we're doing for June and July. I decided July, at the beginning of the year. June, I decided yesterday. For August, the thing is I want to do novella picks, but I want to pick like the perfect novellas. I want to make sure I'm picking the right novellas. So I'm going to take a little bit more time to officially decide what we're doing, but I have ideas. Now for June, this is a book that I had on my radar and I feel like nobody was talking about it, nobody was anticipating it. I put it on my anticipated list and I thought it was just one of those books that was gonna, sit in the background, no one's gonna hear about it, and I was gonna read it and like it. And then Aardvark picked it up and I was like, okay, this is a book more people are going to be talking about than I thought. And so since a lot of people are already picking it up and already talking about it, I figured let's just read 5 together. This is by Ilona Bannister. I want to make sure to pitch this correctly because it kind of looks like a really fast-paced thriller. And when it talks about the fact that there are 5 people at a train station, one of them's going to die by the end of the book, it sounds action-packed. It sounds like, I don't know, speed. But what I've seen everybody saying, it's just more of a psychological book. It's more of a suspense book, and it's more of a character study. So there are all these people who come to this train station and all of them have something going on in their lives that we find out via like probably slow moving backstories. Everyone's navigating something in their life. I see mentions of motherhood, disability, addiction. Every stranger has a story. It says in 5 minutes, the next train to London will arrive, killing one of them. Before this happens, you will learn their stories. So I guess not until the very end we're going to find out who the death is going to be. But some early reviews have talked about how this is really clever, how the book did something really interesting. This is probably not everyone's preference for a mystery thriller book club. It reminds me of when we read God of the Woods the year before last year, or I read this book called Reprieve that's pitched as a horror book in like an escape room years ago, and I loved it, but it was more about interpersonal drama rather than the actual escape room. And I feel like this is kind of going to be that vibe, so I just want to set you up for their expectations. If you want to read it and talk about it, the book club this year is things that I really want to read, and I think this will be an interesting one to talk about. So we will be doing that in the month of June. Currently for the month of May, if you missed it, we are reading The Ending Writes Itself. The live show will be on May 30th. Here's a little thumbnail with all of my friends. And then also at the end of May, I will be doing a live show with Gabby and Ashley for the book troupe, talking about The Caretaker. If this is something that you wanted me to pick for the Literally Dead book club, I instead will be reading it with Gabby. So there'll be a live show for that. Then in the month of July, of course, we're doing a Paul Tremblay. I'm just so hyped about this release. I love this author. And again, this one is a little outside what you might usually expect for the book club because it's more science fiction or just general fiction, but the author has said it has horror elements. It's for sure horrifying. We have a woman named Julie. She's working a lot of jobs and she gets an opportunity that she can't refuse for this big payday. The job is to chaperone a man in a vegetative state from one coast of the United States to the other. And then I'm pretty sure the chapters written from his perspective are actually in second person, so that'll be fun. And he has AI implanted in his head, and it's like morphing the reality that he's seeing, and he has no memory of who he is. Their lives are going to become intertwined. They help each other with things, and they're on a collision course. The publisher says it's a heady, horrific genre bender. I'm really excited to read this. If you also want to read it, then you can hang out with me and the live show at the end of July. Hopefully a book box picks it up. That would be fun. Then we could all get it that way. Oh, also, I should have mentioned, if you want to get 5 from Aardvark and you haven't had a subscription before, you can get your first one for $4 if you use my code LALA4 if you're in the States. That's an affiliate code, so I get a little kickback. What do I want to talk about next? I feel like we should just get into the jar. Really why I wanted to film this now is so I could start planning my plans. This is the only thing not completely in my control, and I need to know what I'm going to be doing. Actually, I should just grab like a handful and then hopefully there's 9 in it and we can just see what they all are at once. Let's begin. Thank you to the besties who've contributed. Laura suggested The Hen Who Dreamed She Could Fly. This is a retelling of a Korean fable and I found it just lovely. It stuck with me for years and I love to reread it. Okay, fun. Option number 2 is You and Me by Tal Bauer. This is a single dad's romance, and I fell in love with it a couple years ago. Such a well-paced story of a father and son slowly putting back together the broken pieces of their relationship while the dad slowly falls for his son's best friend's dad. Oh gosh. Lindsay, thank you so much for that. Next up, we have from Samanyana, The Thief by Megan Whalen Turner. This sounds familiar, but I can't think of what it is in this moment. Next, we have Out of Love by Hazel Hayes. It's romantic but not a romance and has a unique structure. That's from MJ. Thank you so much. Our taste doesn't often align, but I think it might be a book you like too. Okay. Number 5 is The Golden Compass by Philip Pullman. It's one of my favorites and I've always wanted to hear your opinion on it. Furthermore, thank you for that. Well, I love just like running through all of these at once. Number 6, The Wicked Cometh by Laura Carlin, a book I enjoyed a few years ago, but have never seen anyone talk about ever. Thank you, Aoife, for this one. I know historical fiction isn't something you gravitate towards. I have been this year, but it's more of a gothic, creepy mystery with a lesbian romance. Hell yeah. And I am going to try out all of these, the first chapter of every single book. I did that last season as well, so I made sure to give it a go. The Examiner by Janice Hallett. I do want to read that one because I read The Appeal. Thank you. Ramblings of an Elf-Pyre. It's written in emails and DMs following an unfolding murder mystery set at an art college. This one is Temporary by Hilary Lichter. I need more people to read it, including you. That's from Lauren. I don't know what Temporary is. Last one, last option is The Sparrow by Mary Doria Russell. This was suggested by Zoe. I don't know if I know this one. Okay, we've got all of our options here. And maybe what I'll actually do is a little besties video where I try out the first chapter of all 9 of them. I give my first impressions, and then obviously you will see my reviews for the one that I've picked in each respective monthly wrap up. So that is the June, July, and August Bestie TBR jar. Loosely decided. What else is happening this summer? Okay, one thing I know is happening is Summerween. Now, Summerween always lands on days that are not convenient for me for vlogging, this year especially. We're always out of town, we're always on vacation, and I just make it work. This year I cannot. There will be no days in between like travel where I can reasonably be uploading. So I'm just gonna do a one vlog at the end of Summerween with everything that I read during it. And I'm actually going to combine it with my video series of the books that made you feel things. I'm going to make the Summerween episode the one where I read books that you recommended that scare you. A couple books that I have planned to read for that are The Ruins and Sour Candy. Those are 2 on my list. Summerween is taking place from July 3rd to 9th. And the prompts are pretty much the same as always. One of them is something with a pink cover though, and I haven't seen anything that has come through enough on the spreadsheet, the survey, and then turned into a spreadsheet that has a pink cover. So I think I might not just take like the 78 most recommended things. I will go through and I'll really comb through the survey to see anything that anybody recommended, and that'll be a nice combo vlog for that. So that will be one of 3 episodes in that series coming out this summer. The other ones are going to be books that shocked you, in which I'm planning on reading William, which I'm really excited about. This is like AI, and I gave that author 5 stars earlier this year. And then I'm also going to read Her Last Breath, which I'm so anticipating, and apparently a lot of people were surprised by the reveals at the end of that book. So that is very encouraging. Then I have the books that made you learn something, books that made you smarter, books that taught you something. And I have so many books to choose from for that. You'll see all of the list when the video comes out, obviously, or if you're a bestie, it's already there. And I'm actually turning this one into also the Besties book club read of the season. So we're currently reading fantasy. We're reading The Geomagician. I haven't cracked this open yet, and our live show is this weekend. And then after that, our next seasonal one is going to be nonfiction. And so I'm just going to give them a bunch of options to choose from in a little poll next week. If you want to join the Besties membership, that will be coming soon. The ones that I think I'm most interested by that have been mentioned so many times is Forest Euphoria, Why We Sleep, Fearing the Black Body. Those are the 3. I think there's a couple more that I didn't write down, but those I will definitely be reading in the vlog, and we will be voting on one that will also have a live show for the besties to like fully discuss. I love doing live show discussions about nonfiction. I find it so interesting. Also coming up for the besties, if you need a little push to join, we're gonna have a readathon happening in August. We're also gonna do another code names video that I love doing with Rob in June. And then we have a live show at the beginning of each month to talk about new releases, movie nights, whatever else. Let's talk about new releases though. Some things that I am pretty certain I will be reading this summer. Leave and Come Back This is about, like, it's a wedding rom-com where instead of fake dating, it's like they're fake not dating. So this guy shows up to this like 2-week long big family wedding, and the girl really wants her family to like this guy, but she thinks maybe they won't like him if she introduces him as her boyfriend, so he's just gonna be like some random guy at the event. I just think it sounds fun. Inkpot Gods, I barely know the plot of, but it's like the 4th book in this series. I obviously have to continue. Sublimation, this one is so intriguing to me. Emigration splits you into 2 different people, and there's this woman who's going back to her home country and like interacting with her, I don't know what it's called, like body double, clone, whatever. Slasher Summer, these 7 friends get hunted down, and it's just an homage to 80s slashers. I almost picked this for the book club, but I've heard that it reads very simplistically and like a little YA, so I will read it this summer for sure, and I'll let you know if I recommend it. Every Version of You sounds perfect for me. It's like a woman who time travels, reliving her college years. Die for Me is a paranormal romance at the top of my list. The cover really got me. The Sea Hides Its Dead is these academics trapped in during a caving expedition, and they encounter some type of horror in the water. Destination Funeral, I just think I'm gonna love. It's like 4 friends reunite for a funeral and they get stuck in a time loop. And then Yes Chef just seems like the romance that I'm gonna love this summer, where a chef and a social media manager fall in love. But I don't think they like each other at first, but he is determined to teach her how to cook so she can really understand the ins and outs of the business in order to make the social media content the best that it can be. And then do I have any arcs? Solace House, I definitely want to read. I haven't heard great things about it, but from people who don't typically agree with me, so I think I'll probably love it. That's the only physical arc that I have. I have an audio arc of Japanese Gothic, and I now have the physical book that just arrived, so I'll be reading this for sure. It plays with time, and it's historical and horror. The brand new books that I have on my shelves that I definitely want to read this summer. This one I've had for a while now, and I just feel like I don't know if I'm gonna like it, and so I haven't started it. It's the one where people like get connected with dead bodies, like as companions. We Dance Upon Demons is obviously going to be fantastic. This is like real life, but a little bit magical. She has abilities. It's about reproductive health. And then Honey, oh my God, I'm so obsessed with this cover. This is about female rage and revenge and killing, which is a hit or miss for me. So I think I might use this for the buzzword challenge next month, where it's a single word for the title. In July, the prompt is an occupation in the title, which I do not know what I'm gonna read. Could have done the caretaker for that, but I have to read that soon. And then in August, it's a group or a club in the title. I know that I had some ideas in my announcement, but in this moment, I have no idea what they're gonna be. And then for cover prompts, it's Wings for June. I really wish that Meat Bees was coming out sooner, so I could have read like Meat Bees and Honey side by side in the same video. July, it's Metallic. Something metallic on the cover. And then in August it's Damage, and I think I was planning that Stephen King one if it comes from the library. I might do that, but I also like to keep the buzzwords a little bit of a mystery, because that's what you like me to do by not giving it away in the thumbnail, what me and my mom end up shopping for every month. So that's the buzzword, okay? And then I also have a sports video planned, just where I read books about sports. I'm lining it up with when like the final week of the playoffs for the NHL is. I'm thinking about reading Crux. This was recently a book of the month pick, and I learned about it via them, but then ordered it from the library. I have Hot Girls with Balls that I got from Aardvark, which is volleyball. This one's rock climbing. This one's also rock climbing, Dixon Descending. So I don't know if I'll finish both or what my plan is there. And then I will be continuing in the Heated Rivalry series. And then also the Open Era, the Open Season, the Open Era is a tennis male romance coming out this summer, so I will be reading that too. Another video plan I have is the Tentacle vlog. So I'll be reading some octopus type books, Remarkably Bright Creatures, which is also just about to become, or just came out as a movie, so that'll be fun to get to watch after I read it. I have no idea what it's about. And The Soul of an Octopus, which I also don't really know what it's about. And then I need your help, because obviously if it's a tentacle vlog, and in every single creature vlog I've done some type of romance, so I need a tentacle romance, and I don't know how to pick that for myself. So I want like an actually good one, but like a smutty, ridiculous one. You know what I mean? Also this summer you'll see more alphabet vlogs. I'm currently working on I, J, K, and L, and then at some point in the summer you will see M, N, O, P, and perhaps Q, R, S, T. But I obviously don't know what I'll be reading for those yet, because I have to spin the wheel. Another vlog in the works is my next magazine from decades ago recommends what I read. I've only done one of these. It was a specific year in the 80s. I can't even remember in this moment what it was, like maybe 1984. No, it wouldn't have been 1984. I would have remembered that. 1987 maybe. And this time I have grabbed one from 1976, and there are some bookish recommendations in here. Even on the back, we have a bookish subscription. So I'm gonna read some of these, but I'm also gonna read some 2026 counterparts. So it's kind of like a 50 years later, what are magazines recommending? And then I'm gonna read a selection from each. Again, I don't actually know what I'm gonna be reading for that, but it will be coming out late summer. Oh, and then of course I have to revisit the Finding Horror Wins, because I did an episode for 2016 and it was not very satisfying. So we will be revisiting. I think maybe I'll do a mix of 2016 and 2017, because I have 2017 horror that I'm very excited to read. I really want to read the Silent Companions. I want to read The Changeling. Then thanks to all of your comments, it really helped me figure out some more 2016 options that I wasn't finding via internet searches and blogs and wherever else. Someone let me know that this book that was already on my TBR actually was from 2016, but I just think my filters weren't working properly. So I will be reading this ridiculous title, Every Time We Meet at the Dairy Queen, Your Whole Fucking Face Explodes. So wish me luck with that. And then also a lot of people were mentioning a book called Into Thin Air, or maybe it was just called Thin Air. I don't know, it came up a lot and I've absolutely never heard of it. I haven't even looked at the cover actually, so me popping it in here and editing is the first time I'm gonna be seeing it. And hopefully I can finally fill in those missing spots of huge wins from like a decade ago. I really liked making that video even if I didn't have the most success. So I'm definitely gonna continue. I have a lot of goals for the summer. I'm excited about all the content that I'm gonna be making. I do think you can expect a couple missing like Wednesday videos occasionally throughout the summer, just because it gets really busy. And I don't think that anyone enjoys like a half-assed casual Wednesday video if it's not actually good and something that I'm like passionate about or interested in. And with that said, I will see you this weekend with my alphabet vlog. So I'll see you soon. Bye!